Hey yo, motherfuckers! OD 2 tanks in the gym. Listen, I've got to be humble OD now. I'm now humble OD. Angel said to me, if I'm gonna train you, you have to be humble OD. You can't be arrogant OD. 100%. I'm not training someone that's an arrogant person no more. I need all of my people to be humble. So, and that's why I said to myself, can I do this? And I was like, this guy's a very good coach and he understands boxing. And for the sake of that, for the sake to learn what this man knows, I said I'll be humble OD. And I can keep humble OD up for the rest of my boxing career.
Good man.
And no more arrogant, you know, Angel said to me, if you go online and then someone says, you know, this thing about you, bad things about you.
In the ring, man.
He said
That's
to me,
what they talk.
if you go online and they say bad things about you, just say, okay, I don't need to respond and be angry back. I said, all you're talking in the ring and in the gym.
Always positive, man.
But outside the gym, you have to be positive all the time because I'm not training someone that's rude and arrogant and blah blah blah. And you know, this guy wasn't going to train me.
That's true though.
I said to him, listen, that's the last thing they have to think about. For the sake of this game, to learn the footwork and the foot movements and to fight properly, I'll be humble OD. Hell yeah! Humble OD! Woo, woo, woo!
Man, what a nuts, man. Absolutely nuts, these guys.
Anyway, Angel Fernandez, do you regret taking on Mr. Ohara Davis?
No, I've got to say, I was kind of like, at the beginning, you know, when I got the call from Lee Eaton, you know, with the trainer Ohara Davis, I'm like, maybe not. Let's see how the first week goes, and then we go from there. But I got to say, once you get to meet the guy, you know, he truly is a really nice person. You know, it's not because I kind of like, I shouldn't be judging people, you know, from social media, and I kind of like judge him through there. But once you get to know the person, it's a completely different story. And so far, so good with him.
When I spoke to Ohara earlier, he did mention that you had spoke to him about if you are going to train him, he needs to be the humble OD, as he calls himself. Is a lot of that down to you just wanting him to act for the sake of him and for his career and how he portrays himself on social media, or does that genuinely affect the way that he trains, do you think, or the way that he was training?
It's not kind of like, I don't think it will affect the training at all, but it's kind of like, I don't like to train with arrogant people, you know, and they come across kind of like cocky, let's say, in that particular way. But I like people that do the talk in the ring, you know. I understand kind of like sometimes the emotions and everything that gets involved in the game, but you got to control those emotions. And you know, maybe like in the last week or at the weigh-in, you can say something, you know, but not kind of like some of the things that he has said in the past, you know. And I'm not kind of like agree with that sort of comments that he made in the past, but maybe because he was naive at the time, and you know, but it's just these little things that needs to be changed, you know.
Let's talk about the actual work that you guys have been doing together.
Yeah.
Like I said, I spoke to Ohara earlier, and he said to me that at first he was a bit uncomfortable because he felt like there was a massive change in coming, and then he said soon he could sort of see the changes in the alterations you were making sort of working out for him, and he had some of his best spars that he's ever had. How big are those changes, and sort of how big of a job has it been for you to alter those little things?
Based in the last sparring, it's kind of like the first sparring I saw him. I haven't trained him yet. We went to do the sparring on Friday, and I was like, oh wow, this guy needs a lot of work. Then we went to the second sparring, slightly better, and then the sparring he just done. When was that? Last Friday? Monday. The sparring that he did on Monday was like really kind of like improvements. You really start kind of like seeing those improvements there. But I don't try to change his style that much. All I need to do is just like try to work on the three things that I did say to him that he needs to do in order to kind of like become a better boxer, and then we go from there. But to not confuse him too much in the training is like these things that we need to work on, and that is like footwork, defense, and head movement.
You've been sort of touted of recent as the mastermind, people are saying, behind Anthony Joshua's performance against Andy Ruiz. That's what's been said. But when you're training someone like OD, who's in a tournament where he could be fighting one of three people, does that make the job any more difficult? Something I can imagine that you're not too used to.
Yeah, I mean, of course he does, but it's kind of like I have been watching the three of them. we were watching the fights as well. You know, we have, and I told him with this guy we need to do this, with that guy we need to do that. But then again, it's kind of like you got to train, and he has to do his own thing. You know, become better and just basically just be better than what he used to be before. And on fight week, when we know who the guy is going to be, it's just like putting, you know, the things together. But end of the day, he has to do his own thing. It's just not too much like the planning or mastermind or things like that. He needs to be himself, you know. And I believe in the guy. I think he could go and end up winning the competition.
I only said that because I feel like with the Joshua performance, there was a lot put on the fact that he's fighting Andy Ruiz. Everyone knew he was going to be fighting Andy Ruiz, so there was a lot of focus. It was like tunnel vision for Joshua Ruiz. Obviously, with, like I said, could be one of 3 people. Is there anyone that you'd prefer for Ohara?
No, I don't like to say names. You know, whoever comes up, we just got to be ready for whoever is going to be in front of us. I mean, the 3 of them are dangerous fighters, are good fighters. They're there for a reason, and you know, they won what we won as well. So the best man, you know, shall win the competition.
And in terms of your 2 relationship, how is it outside the ring? All good, because obviously you know he's a character. Yeah,
he's kind of like.
Is this going to be a long-term thing as well? Is this something we can expect to see, or is it just sort of take it as it comes, see what happens after the semi-final, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, we just got to see how, you know, how the competition goes. You know, how the semi-final goes, how the work goes together. You know, like the performance, and then we just like judging from there really. But the relationship outside the ring is amazing. You know, he's trying to learn Spanish as well. You know, we got good banter, and that's you need that connection. As I said, you know, in the past, that it's good to have that connection with the boxers, because once you're there, you know, they really put trust on what you say. So I think it's good.
Right, where were you this morning?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I've just been here training, and now I'm gonna train the man.
All right, so because I was speaking to Ohara, I thought the reason you didn't have a morning session was because you were with Joshua. Is that not true?
No.
Because I saw Joshua was back in.
No. I'll train myself first. You know, I'll get my training. You know, because I like to be fit, and I just waiting for the man and just train the guy. Okay,
because obviously there's been some few videos on social media of Joshua sort of getting back into the groove of things, sort of hitting the body belt.
Joey,
yeah. You're going to be working with Joshua for what we imagine is
we'll be in camp, you know, like
level
me, Joey, you know, Rob McCracken and the whole team will still be doing, you know, work ongoing.
Yeah. Any more? I feel like it's quite a secretive thing.
No, it's not. No? It's not kind of like a secretive thing. It's just like, you know, as I said, it's like it's a 3-man job. You know, Rob, you know, myself and Joey. So it's the 3 of us. You know, the team is still together. You know, and the 3 of us will still be working. You know, down the line on the next fight, and then let's see how things are going.
What's it been like since Joshua Ruiz too? Because like I said, a lot of people have credited you. I saw when Ohara put the tweet up that you two were working together, there's a lot of people like, you know, saying your praises, saying you're a well-esteemed coach. And so what's it been like for you, the reaction since?
I don't particularly like the praising in terms of like from the Joshua performance, because that praise is down to 3 people. You know, it's not down to 1 person. I mean, I like to get the praise from people, you know, but more like I like to get the praise from the people I'm working with. For example, now Ohara, you know, like Sultan Salbek, Joshua, they're the kinds of people that, you know, I like them to talk about what I do and what I don't do. But if you're related to the Joshua, it's always been a 3-month job, and I've been saying that from early stages. You know, it's 3-man teamwork.
Okay, so what can we expect next for Joshua then? I can imagine you're sort of as in the loop as perhaps Rob, and you guys all sort of on the same page. Is there anything that you know that you can't say too much about yet, or is it still perhaps up in the air with the mandatory situation?
I don't know about. I mean, to be honest, is done to kind of like, I think the manager, you know, is just like trying to get in touch with people. You know, I don't even know who we're gonna fight next and when he's going to be or where he's going to be. That's down to the manager. You know, my job is to stick to what I do, and that's coaching really.
I've got to ask you about Fury Wilder. Of course, the dramatic first fight. You had the press conference after. It looked like there wasn't going to be a press tour. How important is the mind games that Fury are playing? Because I've been reading a lot recently about people saying it's a positive for Fury that they're going head-to-head at press conferences because he can sort of play sort of mind tricks on Wilder. Is that something that you'd agree with?
Yeah, 100%. You know, mind games is I mean, the mind is a powerful muscle. You know, and it's gonna be an interesting fight because you could say like Wilder knows that can hurt Fury. You know, is he going to try to come early and try to kind of like hurt him early, or is Fury going to do what he done in the last time? It's a 50-50, but you know, I hope Fury wins. You know, because he's a British guy, and you know, Josh has got all the other belts, and it will be good that if Fury gets the other belt just because he's British. So
do you feel like, take up the fact that they're British and we'll sort of put the top three as Fury, Joshua, and Wilder? Do you feel like that's perhaps the most intriguing fight as well? To forget that they're British, Joshua, Fury, like in terms of styles and in the ring, is that the most intriguing?
yeah, I mean, there is the heavyweight division is getting better and better. You know, there is more names arising. You know, don't underestimate Ruiz as well. You know, I think Ruiz is still in that mix. You know, Park is still in that mix. White is still in that mix. But I think kind of like the three man, you know, like Fury, Joshua, and Wilder are probably kind of like on a league above. But then again, it's kind of like it's an interesting, you know, weight division at the moment.
I remember you saying that you were disappointed by Andy Ruiz's comments, as were a lot of people.
Yeah.
It looks like he could potentially be fighting Dillian White,
Yeah.
possibly. A lot of people would sort of be disappointed that he's going to jump straight back into a massive fight after pretty much openly saying, look, I didn't train as well, I partied, I ate, etc. Do you sort of agree with that? Because we know Ruiz is a world-class fighter, there's no doubt about it. But it's sort of after the comments.
I didn't agree in the terms of like, just don't forget that Joshua took the loss as a man and he behaved as a champion, you know, after the loss. And I will expect the same from Ruiz, but he actually didn't. And listen, I rate his boxing very, very much, and I think Ruiz is a top-class fighter, and I wish him well, and I hope he comes back and, you know, and he proves a lot of people wrong, because, you know, the guy has got the ability to become a champion again.
Would there be potential to see him and Joshua in the ring for a third time? Or?
I mean,
because of the manner of the second victory and sort of
Yeah.
how convincing it was, do you think that's something that perhaps...
yeah, maybe a lot of people kind of like saying, you know, Ruiz beat him the first time, Joshua beat him the second time, let's see the third time. But I mean, it's not really done to me to say anything like that. You know, that's done to managers. You know, that's done to the teams. You know, they have to agree things, and promoters, etc., etc. You know, as I say, just like I like to stick to my job, and my job is just like coaching. You know, and just do the best I can do.
All right, finally, I just want to have a little wrap up of your sort of the guys you're working with at the moment. Of course, Joshua, Ohara, and you've got Sultan as well. Some really good Kazakhs, some signed 20k. Isaac Chamberlain, you guys still working together? You've sort of been out of the ring for over a year now.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's coming back on the 22nd of this month. You know, we just kind of like, he's in Miami at the moment. We just like have to sit down and see how things, you know, are going to go forward. But, you know, he's training hard, you know. I really hope that he gets back in the ring, because he's got the abilities and he's got the potential to go far. But it's the politics of boxing, I'm afraid, what is stopping him from being there in the ring.
Any specifics there? Sort of what sort of politics?
That's down to him really to answer.
Of course, he was signed for Sky, so we you know, we saw him headline in the O2 against Lawrence Okoli. Okay, it wasn't, you know, the greatest spectacle of a fight, but Isaac Chamberlain's still a big name domestically.
Yeah, it's still a big name, you know, but that's down to kind of like him and his advisor, you know, just to come out and just say what sort of kind of like issues are there, you know, for them not to be able to be in the ring. So, but let's see, you know, once he comes back, sit down with him and let's see what's next.
All right, Angel Fernandez, thank you very much for giving me some of your time.
Thank you for your time.
And I'm going to let you get onto training Ohara. I feel sorry for you because I've spent an hour with him and I can't wait to leave.
I heard that.
You see?
I heard that.
2 tongue. He's a nutcase.
Ohara, who's the best management company in the world?
MTK Global. Hell yeah.
Oh.
Gold Star Promotions is proud to present Floyd Money Mayweather. The man himself is coming to the UK for his UK tour, February and March 2020. For all info and tickets, Gold Star Promotions.co.uk.